Hey everyone, tonight we're gonna head off to the store and we're gonna get the things to build a gigantic birdhouse pole, and we're gonna make it so it can come down for maintenance. It can come down to clean or paint or add more houses. Let's get to the store. It's getting dark fast. Trees are already turning really nice orange. Most of the trees around here are already bald for winter. We are way past peak, and today is October 9th. So maybe you guys can tell what I'm doing already. We got 4x4 poles. This right here is 12 feet long. The other one I'm gonna cut at 4 feet. We're gonna bury it in the ground at least 2 feet, pour concrete, backfill with dirt. But we're making this component here so that it can be taken down to add birdhouses, replace them, maintain them, clean them, paint them. Obviously we won't take it down when there's birds in there. So the idea is we're gonna leave a little bit of gap so it has enough room to pivot. We're gonna put 2 carriage bolts down here that will be permanent, they don't come out. Gonna put one here, which is gonna be the hinge that pivots. This will be the pin holding everything up. So that should work out nice. If you ever have to do maintenance on it, you pull this pin out. The birdhouse, at least to me, won't be super heavy. Just slowly bring it down to the ground. Maybe have a piece of wood waiting so whatever birdhouses don't actually hit the ground. So that makes pretty good sense. So the first thing we're gonna start doing tonight is we're gonna assemble this thing. And I'm gonna cut this at 4 feet, this one here. We'll try 6 feet. I really like how the saw has a light. I thought it was just for working when I got it. But you put the line in there and you see the shadow of the blade tells you exactly where it's gonna cut. I love that. Time to drill some holes. It's held together with screws because I just used a level, made sure this was perfectly straight, and now the holes will go all the way through. We'll put the bolts in and then pull the screws back out that are just temporarily holding it. I did 3 and 9. All right. All right, we got those perfect. Now let's drill. And I have not done a project like this in a while, so it's gonna just keep going. All right, let's see how our bolts will fit through there. Nice. Now we hit that with a hammer so it kind of locks in there. So it's got like a square in there. That went in easier than I thought. Look at how wet the wood is, this fresh pressure treated wood. It like bled when I hit them. Perfect amount, look at that. This came through perfectly. Now this one will be our loosening one. And this one probably has to be loosened too when it comes down to use it as a hinge. So these two are gonna get tightened down a whole ton, like permanently in there. So let's tighten it down pretty snug. Now it pivots perfectly. Perfect. All right, we just dug a pretty deep hole. It's nice to see the little trees growing here. Oh, look at that. I was surprised we didn't hit it earlier. We hit the water table. Look at the water trickling in. All right, everyone, so this is going along pretty good. Now, I have no more pieces of wood that big. So, we're gonna have to do what you saw me do just a minute ago. See, I ran out of pieces, so I'm gonna have to start combining pieces now, using the internal walls to screw them to. So, we got them all lined up, measured them, so they're all should be nice and perfect and look uniform. In this house, it'll look brown in like a year, it'll weather nicely. So now, the only thing we gotta do is get a piece of wood for the top there. And the back, I can use any scrap to cover the back of this thing up. Whatever birds choose the top, they have a lower door, but a ton of space up inside the top. Not too bad for a couple of hours. Look what we just made. It's a 20-unit house. Wow. And I don't know if a single bird will ever live in it. On my property, they never use houses because they have so many options in the woods. But in the city, they'd be all over this thing. See how I built the bottom? I used a piece of scrap 4x4 to fit it in here to make sure it's nice and snug. We go out there right now. Each side has 4 right into that brand new pole. Now, I don't know how heavy that thing's going to be to lift up. Hopefully not that bad. We got to bring this out. First, we got to see if the concrete is cured. Then we got to backfill because we didn't do that earlier. It's now been 2 hours, so Quikrete should be completely hardened up enough so we can set this up. Yeah, that's set up nice. It's going to get stronger, but this pole, that's not moving anywhere. Very sandy soil. The good rich soil's only on the top couple of inches. It's like that everywhere. It's pretty sandy. The ground will settle. It'll grow back in by itself. Might be very easy. Thought it was going to be difficult. This is a very heavy birdhouse. Wow, this is awesome. This wagon's like the perfect height to do this. Oh my gosh! Whoa, my gosh, that thing's so heavy. Whoa. Thankfully, if I ever have to take it down again, it'll never weigh this much again. Because It's pressure treated and wet. Whoa. That weighs so much, oh my gosh. Good thing I put so many screws in that. Don't want that birdhouse falling on my head. The bolt is holding it. I can't put it all the way through. It's too heavy. I gotta come back with a hammer and hope for the best. Here is, this isn't going in because there's so much weight pushing down on this bolt. Oh, good, it's going through nice. Nice and tight. Not too tight, but good. Now this one needs some strength. When I was at the store looking at this 12-foot pole, I was like, I don't think that's enough. But combined, that's an 18-foot pole, what I just made. It's buried 3 feet. The very top of the house is 17 feet. But that actually looks really, really nice. That looks really nice, actually. And it stands out now because it's new. In 1 year, that'll be faded in the sun, and it'll look like any piece of petrified wood. But it looks good. Everything's gonna shrink slightly. There'll be little gaps in the birdhouse, but they might actually like it better, like venting. I only put that roofing shingle on there because just so the bird doesn't get dripped on from the big crack in the peak of the roof. It also looks way better having a black roof on it. So I think this is gonna turn out really good. Look at it. That's a nice house. I think it's so high up. It's the next day. I just went over there and tugged on it. That's why it's moving a little bit. That thing stiffened up in the ground so much. I was a little worried at first that we didn't put it deep enough. But now it seems super duper strong. And I can't wait to see if anything uses it next year. Hopefully it's not just a house full of wasps. But anyways, I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching and have a great day. If you want to see the full version of today's video, check down in the description. I always try to make a short version of these really long videos, but I'm not always great at editing it down, so if you'd like to see the full version, it's down in the description.